This video, the plan is simple. We're going to take two hidden side lighthouses and smoosh them together. Just like that. It's magic, I'm telling you. But hold on, before we get ahead of ourselves here, I should probably explain what this project is and why I'm doing it. For those of you new, I'm Peter, and I build Lego MOCs for my city. But this idea started because I saw Lego's hidden side lighthouse, and I thought it was just kind of half complete. They put on the front half, and it looks nice, don't get me wrong, but where's the other side? So, to fix that, I bought two of them. What else are you gonna do? Okay, so the first step towards completing this project was actually buying the sets and building them as sets so that I could modify them. I bought the sets on Amazon last fall when they were probably 20 or 30% discounted, and not too long after they arrived, I built them on a live stream here on this channel if you want to go check it out. But to be honest, the process of building them was not that interesting. I mean, the live streams are interesting, but that's for a different reason. By the way, yes, we are canceling Abraham Lincoln. The actual interesting part of this project, though, came from disassembling the sets partially and modifying them. So after playing around with one of the lighthouses and seeing how I could combine them, I kind of just went for it and kind of recorded the process as I went. Right now you're watching a time-lapse of me combining the lighthouse structures together, which actually turned out to be a lot more difficult than you would have expected. I'll talk about that later. After that, I started on the island because I knew, in reality, that was going to be a lot more time-consuming and challenging for me. I started experimenting with figuring out how I was going to lay out the island and how I was going to make the boardwalks and stuff, but I just kind of settled on a way that the sets look if you just like push them together. Once I finished that, I added a few more details as well as the minifigures, and I was pretty much done. So why don't I chill out and show you around the build in a little bit more detail. Alright, to start off showing you the finished mock, or I guess re-mock, I should probably break it up into a few sections. Number 1 is going to be the landscape, number 2 is going to be the lighthouse, and number 3 is going to be the little secret hidden inside. The first part, the landscape, there's not actually a ton to talk about because the sides are taken from the original set and not modified very much. I took out one of the play features where you could like extend a thing and like toes would pop out of the rocks. I don't know what was up with that. Anyways, it's gone now, so I'm not going to think about it anymore, otherwise it will haunt my nightmares. The middle part of the rocks, though, is completely custom, and I know it's kind of a weird shape. It's like 3 prongs of an island, and the reason for that is that when you move the original 2 rock bases of the sets together, it kind of makes the same shape, just a lot boxier and less smooth. So what I did is I ripped all that apart and replaced it with a smoother version. You might notice I actually used 2 little ugly rock pieces, or lerps, here, and I'm kind of proud of the fact that I was able to use them without it looking absolutely garbage, because they're kind of difficult to use. Oh, and of course I had to make a little homage to the toes that came out of the island in the original set, which I never understood, but I made a little tribute underneath the front rock, which you can just lift up and I'm moving on. Moving on to the structure of the lighthouse, I actually kind of struggled with this because if I didn't mention it earlier in the video, basically the situation was that the structure of the lighthouse is the back part of them, and that was the part that I was trying to remove to make it more circular instead of really long. And for that reason, there is no interior to the lighthouse. I ripped it out to put in like structural elements. And even then, the lighthouses are kind of unsturdy. Like I can just rip off the second floor if I wanted to. Look, see? You might also notice that there are 2 doors and one of them opens up to nowhere, and that's kind of weird, but I didn't really feel like replacing it with bricks because that also looks kind of weird, so the door adds character, we'll say that. Another thing I preserved from the main set is that the flaps still open up and make it look like it's flying away. I don't know what, oh yeah, it was because it was a hidden side set, and hidden side is supposed to be spooky. Yeah, does anybody use the hidden side app? I never tried it. But I did remove most of the scary spooky elements of this, keyword most of them. I still kept the skeletons and like little toes in the front. Why did I do that? Okay, now it's time for me to show you the little hidden secret I was talking about earlier. If you take off the lighthouse, you'll see that there's a little bit of a cave underneath, like a cave pond thing. And yes, I did make the lighthouse removable just for that one play feature because, as you all know, I play with my Lego sets all the time. Regardless, I did make a little cave thing down here, so you can come and vibe down here in my little cave hot tub with me if you want to. Yeah, you know that's where I'm gonna be chilling all the time. Oh, and also the minifigures, I included, like, there's like, what, 10 minifigures in total here? And yes, there are 2 of each minifigure in this mock because there are 2 sets that made this, and so everybody's like twins here or something. Anyways, that's pretty much it for the build. I might have put in the title that I'm gonna put this in my city, but I haven't figured out where I'm gonna do that yet because my water space is taken up by a ton of boats. Why are there so many boats? If you want to see me put it in the city, I do have another city update coming soon, so subscribe if you want to see that, and like the video if you enjoyed this video. But hey, my final message is that I hope you're having a good day, and if you're not, I hope it gets better. Thanks for watching, bye bye.